This is Wayne Bilal with another smart profit maximizing moment. Sorry I didn't make it yesterday. I had a little plumbing disaster. Plus I had a coaching call with my coach, Jim Palmer. If you don't know him, check him out. Definitely worth looking at. Today we're going to talk about the secret of building your dream business, of reaching your goals. All right. Before we get going, let me introduce myself. Again, my name is Wayne Bilal. I'm the founder of a local CPA firm since 1991, so I've been doing this a long time. Actually started, back in the late 70s. So really, almost all that time has been working with small businesses and the business owners and helping them grow their business. Right now, our firm, does really three things. We do your tax returns. We help you stay out of trouble. That's our job. We teach you how to win an IRS audit if you're going to go down that road. Second thing we do is that we help you cut your taxes legally. We help you put more of your hard-earned money back in your pocket rather than sending it to the IRS. In the last 3 years alone, we've saved our clients over $4.3 million. That's a lot of money that is being used by our clients to either fund their retirement, buy their house, reinvest in their business, whatever. But it's not going to the IRS. And the third thing we're doing is we're helping our business owners grow their business. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm also the founder, the creator, I guess is more accurate, of the Smart Profit Maximizing System, which is the program I use to help my business owners jumpstart their business. All right. Let's talk about that. So first things first, how do you build a dream business? Well, the first thing, you gotta know what your dream is. All right. So you got to sit down and actually articulate to yourself and to your employees, to your spouse, to anybody else, and especially to yourself, what is it you're trying to accomplish? All right, what is the business that you want to build? What's that look like? All right, and write it down. That's the key. All right. The second step, a whole lot harder. Only work on those things that move you towards that dream business that you want to build, the goals you have. Why do I say it's harder? Well, life gets in the way. All right. Make steps that way. I've been trying, I wanted to get the coaching done 3 years ago. Life got in the way. All right. So we're launching again, launching finally this year. Things happen. Don't let that discourage you. Just keep moving. The other key, though, is I got away from some of these keys, and, it doesn't hurt me to actually say them out loud again so that I remember them. All right. So again, the trick is to only work on those things that move you towards your goals. Sounds obvious, right? All right. This one step, though, sounds obvious, but seldom done. This one step allowed me to double my business in 3 years. All right. When I applied it without hiring another person. That's not bad. Magnolia Coca-Cola. I got myself, when I was there, I was working 12 hours a day, almost 6.5 days a week. I only worked Sunday morning instead of all day Sunday. Put a lot of the stuff that I'm going to teach right now into play, and I worked myself out of a job twice. Took over the accounting for 6 plants instead of the one I had, and still worked myself out of a job again. I taught this to one of my clients. He quadrupled his business and was working less. All right. So what are we going to do? All right. First thing we need to do is understand don't recreate the wheel. Learn what's out there. I'm going to talk about, I forgot how many, 4? Yeah, 4 key principles that you need to understand. All right. The first one is from the 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. Not a bad book. The title gets your attention. I don't think he works 4 hours a week, but he might. All right. Being effective versus being efficient. This is what I wanted to steal from his book. Effectiveness is doing the things that get you closer to your goal. Efficiency is performing a given task, whether important or not, in the most economical manner possible. Being efficient without regard to effectiveness is the default mode of the universe. Do something well. It doesn't matter whether it's worth anything or it gets you towards your goal, but do something well. There's 2 truisms to keep in mind in this goal. Doing something unimportant well does not make it important. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean that it's important for you to reach your goals. All right. I'm excellent at doing personal tax returns and kick them out all day. Can do tons of them. Has nothing to do with reaching my personal goal. So I have fixed that by training other people. Being time consuming does not make it important. Just because something takes a long time doesn't mean it's important. Doing a client's monthly bookkeeping is very time consuming. But again, it's not essential for reaching my personal and company goals. So we just don't do monthly bookkeeping anymore. We got rid of it entirely. We stopped accepting it 3 or 4 years ago. I outsourced it a year ago. Just said we don't do them anymore. All right. From this moment forward, remember this: what you do is infinitely more important than how you do it. All right. Efficiency is still important, but it's useless unless it's applied to the right things. To understand that, let's talk about, you got to get a very good grasp of Pareto's Law, Peter Drucker's Main Management Law, and Parkinson's Law in conjunction with this one. What is Pareto's Law? Well, we know this one as the 80-20 rule and freedom from futility. Pareto's Law can be summarized simply as follows. 80% of the output results from 20% of the inputs. Alternative ways of phrasing this depend on the context. Here's some. 80% of consequences flow from 20% of the actions. 80% of result comes from 20% of your effort and time. 80% of the company profit comes from 20% of your products and company. I like the second one. That means 80% of my time is wasted. I might as well stay home, have fun. You know? This list is infinitely long and diverse. The ratio is often skewed even more. I've seen 90-10, I've seen 95-5, 99-1. And even that's not that uncommon. Everything you do in business then and in your personal life should be analyzed through the lens of the Pareto's Law. Which of the 20% of sources are causing 80% of my problems? Get rid of it. And unhappiness. I did that with two things just in the last 13 months. I got rid of bookkeeping, now we're getting rid of payroll tax returns. My wife is so happy. I mean, she doesn't know what to do with herself, and it takes so much pressure off myself. What 20% of your sources are resulting in 80% of your desired outcomes and happiness? Figure out what that is. Do more of it. That's the key to what I've done in the last couple of years with myself and another client. Kept sales the same for my client. Added $350,000 to their bottom line. How do we do that? We concentrated on what the 80-20. The 20% that made them the most profit. We concentrated on that. Myself, top line went down by 40,000, bottom line went up by 90,000. I'm not in business to make sales. I'm in the business to make a profit. So are you. All right. Peter Drucker's new Main Management Law is the third thing we're going to talk about. It's really simple. What you measure gets managed. That's pretty simple, but it's true. Because really what it says is what you look at gets managed. What you ignore just falls by the wayside. If something is important for you to reach your business goals and personal goals, you must find a way to measure it. Employee evaluations are simple when they're based on actual data. Hear the difference in this when I'm talking to employees. You make too many mistakes. Well, what's that mean? That's subjective. That doesn't mean anything. Or the average error rate for other employees doing this job is 3%. Over the last month, yours has been 10%. What do you perceive as the problem? I'm not attacking them. I'm stating a fact. All right? Everybody else is doing 3%, you're doing 10%. Don't attack even with those numbers. I'm sitting there and I've had a client, and I did that when I was at Coca-Cola, and I brought that up to an employee, and she goes, yeah, I get all the hard cases. I wasn't sure if she was lying or not, so we switched her with somebody else. Their error rate went to 15-20%. So she was doing a good job. She just, because everybody knew she knew what she was doing, she got all the crazy ones. So fix the crazy ones, let her, another story, we're not going to go down there. All right. Then finally, it's the 9-to-5 illusion in Parkinson's Law. Okay, Parkinson's Law dictates that a task will swell to fill the time I give it. I know that from experience. Our firm gets more work done 2 weeks before a deadline than we do 2 months before a deadline. It's simple. We're under a deadline. There's a rush, all right? If I give you 24 hours to complete a project, the time pressure forces you to focus on execution, and you have no choice but to do what's essential, all right? If I give you a week to complete the same task, it's 6 days to make a mountain out of a molehill, and you're still going to do it in the last day. And heaven forbids, if I give you 2 months, oh Lord, it becomes a mental monster. The end product is going to be no better than the one at the shorter deadline, and often is going to be worse, all right? So key here, before I even give the key, it's a curious phenomenon that happens. Two synergistic approaches for increasing productivity at work here are really just inversions of each other. Limit tasks to the important to shorten the work time, the 80-20 rule, all right? Shorten work time to limit the task to the important, Parkinson's Law, all right? Shorten time. So the best solution is to use them together. Identify the few critical tasks that contribute most to your income and schedule them with very short and clear deadlines. So what I do when I'm sitting down and coaching with somebody, we go through and identify what their problems are, what could make a difference. And we sit down and hone that down to which 2 or 3 things that if they fixed would have a massive increase in fixed, eliminated, whatever the case may be, added, would have the biggest increase to their bottom line. And then we concentrate on those and put a very short timeline on those to fix them. All right. Simplicity requires ruthlessness. If you had to stop, think about this. If you had to stop doing 80% of the time consuming activities, phone calls, emails, workplace conversations, paperwork, meetings, what would you eliminate to keep the negative effect on your income to a minimum? Do another thought experiment. Say your doctor, you had a heart attack or something, your doctor said you could only go to work 1 day a week. What would you do? What would you eliminate? Would you close down your business? Of course not. You'd figure out a way to get it done. All right? Don't wait for the doctor. Pretend you can only work 1 day a week. What would you eliminate? All right? There's a key there to understanding. There's a lot in this video. All right? I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot here. Rewatch it. This is the key. If you learn these principles and work them, these are the key to growing your business and reaching your goal. All right? Hey, a few things that, especially if you catch me on YouTube, go search for. If you're watching on Facebook, this isn't on the bottom of it, but if you click through, go to my YouTube channel, do a search. I post these there. Not always the same day. It might be a week later. At the very bottom of them, I have a way to get a hold of me. If you're not finding me on Facebook, do a search for Business Profit Maximizer and like the page so that you'll get notified when I go live. All right. Check my blog out. It's go to my web. The easiest way to get it. I post these videos there, and I got other stuff coming in. I got a lot. Oh well, I've been doing it since 2010 on the blog, so I got well over 800 800 posts. I think is the last time I looked. Just the easiest way to do that is to go to my website, wjb-cpa.com, wjb-cpa.com. When you get there on the left-hand side, second tab is the blog. Click through, sign up, so you'll get a notice of not just these videos, but you'll get when I put things up that are written. And I only do truthfully when it's not tax time. All right, that's kind of key. And don't be afraid to give me an email. I'll be happy to help you increase your profits. All right, email me at wayne@wjb-cpa.com, or give me a call. 915-857-8158 is our business number. Hey, until next time, this is Wayne Blau saying, let's make this our most profitable year ever. Thank you very much.